A history-making year for this man, Paul William Bear Bryant. He was chasing a record for coaching wins. That record was 314 victories, a mark held by the legendary Amos Alonzo Stagg. As the coach worked toward that magic number, he did so with a wishbone offense that at times featured three different starting quarterbacks. Number 11, Ken Coley, was a talented junior, but he kept having his injury problems. Number 14, Alan Gray, was a senior who became the regular starter as the season of '81 wore on. He'd played a key role in the Tide's 7-1-1 record through its first 9 games. And then there was number 10, Walter Lewis, who could pass the football, and he became even more prominent as the season progressed. In Bama's wishbone, there were any number of running backs: Ken Simon, Jeff Fagan, Joe Carter, Paul Ott Carruth, Lenny Patrick, all could run with the football. And in the Tide's passing attack, one of the fans' all-time favorites, number 4, Joey Jones. He had speed and he could really go after the football. Another wideout who had speed was Jesse Bendrose. He split time with Jones, catching passes in an offense that averaged nearly 25 points a game. On defense, veteran coordinator Ken Donahue had some all-star talent up front in the likes of Mike Pitts and Warren Lyles. All-American Thomas Boyd led the linebacker corps. And in the secondary, no less than 2 members of Alabama's team of the century, Tommy Wilcox and Jeremiah Castile. But those talented players took a back seat during 1981 to their veteran coach, as Bryant continued his march toward the top of the all-time winning list. He tied second-place Pop Warner at 313 wins, and then he needed just one more victory to tie Stagg for the top. Bryant and the Tide went for 314 on a cool November day at State College, Pennsylvania. Alabama and Penn State in 1981, one of Bama's greatest games. Games, along with John Forney, I'm Tom Roberts, and in this show, we're going back to 1981, Alabama against Penn State, the beginning of a 10-year series. It was a great series, John, but was it tough getting to State College, Pennsylvania.
I tell you, Penn State is a great institution, great football team, paterno and everything else. But back in '80, it's easier now, but back in '81, it was really, really hard to get to Happy Valley. And I know I drove over from the motel where we stayed, which is about 30 miles away, and we got behind, would you believe, on a back country road, 2 Amish
carriages,
wagons,
horses
with clippity-clop, and here we were. We finally managed to get around them, so but that gives you an idea. But finally we got to the great stadium and the shadows of Mount Nittany, and 85,000 plus were there that day.
Well, Coach Bryant also had a hard time getting there the first time, too. We were on the bus driving over from Harrisburg. About an hour into the trip, he looked over at Jim Goostrey and said, how much longer we got to go? Goostrey said, about 2 more hours, Coach. He said, if I'd have known it was going to be this hard to get here, I'd have never scheduled a 10-year series.
I'm sure he felt that way and did, because I was with him one time when the team was coming from Blacksburg, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
And they got jammed up on that. Who will never forget it. He was angry.
Well, in this particular day, he had his 314th victory about to come up. As I understand it, in the locker room before the game, though, he tried to get that out of his players' minds completely.
Yeah, in fact, Bill Battle and I think Larry Strippin, they had him wired, and they taped his pregame comments, and later on I happened to hear it with a group of players from the 1961 team. And what he kept saying, I want you to play this game like you're 2 touchdowns behind every minute of the game, regardless of where you are. Keep the 2 touchdowns behind. And what he really was saying to the players and the coaches, I don't want you to be locked up on trying to get my tie game. He said, I want you to be reckless. I want you to be daring. And certainly that affected Walter Lewis. Walter came out and he played the finest game of his career in that first half. And it was so quiet after we took that big lead in the first half. It was total silence. I could hear myself rattling off the walls, and I talked to Jerry Duncan down the field, and Jerry said, John, it's eerie, it's so quiet down here. It really was. But the Crimson Tide that day had quieted them.
Well, let's go to the first quarter explosion that led to some of that quiet as we go back to November 14th, 1981, Bama and Penn State at Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. Safety Jim Bob Harris, linebacker Eddie Lowe, and tight end Bart Kraut represent Bama at midfield for the coin toss. Alabama won it. Elected to receive, here's Brian Franco kicking it off for the Lions. Lenny Patrick takes it for the Tide at his own 4-yard line, brings it back upfield for 19 to the 23. Alabama's starting backfield has Alan Gray at quarterback, Ken Simon at fullback, halfbacks Joe Carter and Paul Caruth, and it's Caruth who goes up the middle for 9 yards to the 32. The offensive line has Steve Mott, Mike Adcock, Doug Vickers, Bob Kayavek, and Joe Beasley. They block for the option going to the far side. It's Caruth on the toss, gets 3 more yards to the 35, first down Bama. Again, Gray takes the option to the right side across the line to flip to Caruth. He gets 8 more to the 43. It's 2nd and 2 for the Tide. And the option comes this way. Gray with a toss to Carter, but the Lions stop him for a yard gain. It's 3rd and 1 from the 44. Carter right up the middle. Lions meet him at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Penn State's offside on 4th down, so it's Bama 1st and 10 at the 49. Kenny Simon takes the handoff, bursts through a hole. He's hit, fumbles at the Penn State 41. Ed Perch recovers for the Lions. A challenge for the defense, which has Mike Pitts, Jackie Klein, Warren Lyles, Randy Edwards, and Russ Wood. On 1st down, it's Lyles who sacks Blackledge on his 31 for a loss of 10. Bama linebackers are Robbie Jones and Thomas Boyd. On 2nd down, they see Blackledge pitch out to speedy running back Kurt Warner. He rips off the left side for 14 yards to the 45. In the secondary, the Tide has Jeremiah Castile, Benny Perrin, Tommy Wilcox, and Jim Bob Harris. On 3rd down, Blackledge is going to have to pass. Dropping back, he's throwing for Mike McCloskey, but it's incomplete. So that brings in 4th down, and Ralph Giacomora comes in to punt it away for Penn State. He kicks this one 41 yards. Joey Jones takes it at the 14 for the Tide. Joey brings it back 10 yards to the 24. On 1st down, Gray hands it to Simon. He bounces off the right side for 4 yards to the 28. 2nd and 6 for Bama now. Here's Carter with the football right up the middle for 5 more to the 33. 3rd down, Alabama needs a yard. Here's Gray with a pitch to Caruth. Paulott sweeps around right in for 7 yards. First down, Bama at the 40. For the first time, Gray's going to the air. Under a little bit of pressure, swings it out to Simon. It's incomplete. Tide faces 2nd and 10. Gray back to pass, has to scramble, gets only a yard, so it's 3rd and a long 9 for Bama. Tide sticks to the ground. Here's Gray with the option to the far side. The toss to Caruth. He goes for 5 yards to the 45, but it's well short of a first down. Bama's forced to punt. Malcolm Simmons in. He gets off a 38-yarder. Kevin Baugh takes it at the 16. Can get only 4 more before the coverage gets to it. Nittany Lions on their own 20. Mike Meade takes a Blackledge handoff, batters for 5 to the 25. On 2nd down, Blackledge drops back to pass. Apparently the Bama secondary doing the job. He can't find anybody open, so he decides to run. Goes all the way to the 33, 8 yards on the play. First down, Penn State. Blackledge again dropping back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He fires it. It's incomplete, intended long for Kenny Jackson. On 2nd down, it's back to Warner. The sweep of left in, 11 yards, and a first down at the 44. Boyd and Harris chase him out of bounds. Blackledge throwing again, this time complete to Baugh for 6 yards to midfield. Pitts tracks him down for Bama. 2nd down for the Lions. Warner on the handoff. He goes off the left side for 3 more. Tommy Wilcox makes the tackle at the 47. 3rd and 1 for Penn State. Here's Warner. Hitting the right side, cutting up field for a 6-yard gain. First down at the Bama 41. Blackledge is throwing now. Looking for his tight end, Ron Heller. He has it. 5-yard gain to the Bama 36. Boyd on the tackle for the Tide. On second down, that toss sweep to Warner again. Russ Wood's there. Stops him after a 2-yard gain. It's 3rd and 3 at the Bama 34. It's Warner with the football again, but look at the Tide defense led by Pitts, stopping him for no gain. 4th and 3, Joe Paterno decides to go for it. Blackledge drops back and fires for tight end Mike McCloskey. Mike Pitts bats it down at the line. It's Alabama's football. Second offense on the field now. It's Walter Lewis running the show. He pitches it to Jasper's Lenny Patrick on first down. He picks up 4, but Alabama's caught for holding. Penalized back to the 28-yard line. Lewis running the option this way. Gets away from a tackler. Now goes to the other side. Manages to pick up 6 yards out to the 34 of the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Lewis drops back to pass. He's looking long downfield for Joey Jones. He has the football at the Penn State 35. It's a gain of 31 on the play. On first down, Lewis brings the option this way. Walter keeps it himself, picks up 6 more yards to Penn State's 29. 2nd and 4 for the Tide. Here's Patrick right up the middle. He picks up 3 to the 26, a yard shy of the first. Here's Patrick again. He tries the middle, picks up the yard. It's a first down for the Tide at the 25. Here's Lewis with the pitch to Fagan. He gets some yards, but Bama's charged with clipping. It's now 1st and 22 for Bama back at the 37. Here's the toss to Caruth. He's looking for somebody to throw it to. Looking for Lewis. It's incomplete. 2nd and 22 for Bama. Tide's going to the air again. Lewis drops back, looks into the end zone for Jesse Bendros. Penn State defender falls down. Bendros has it. A 37-yard touchdown pass. Backup kicker Paul Trotz playing for the injured Peter Kim. He kicks the extra point, and with 2:12 left in the first quarter, it's Alabama 7, Penn State nothing. Here's Terry Sanders to kick it off for the Tide. He sends it all the way to the end zone. Baugh takes it there for the Lions. He's headed back upfield. Blockers in front of him, makes it out to the 24-yard line. On first down, the handoff goes to fullback Meade up the middle. He slips down but gets 3 yards to the 27. On second down, Blackledge is dropping back to pass. Looking for split end Greg Garrity, but Russ Wood breaks it up for the Tide. So it's 3rd down now for the Lions. Here's Blackledge back to pass. He throws it out of bounds, and that'll bring up a 4th down for Penn State. Giacomoro's in to punt for the 2nd time, and this time he kicks one a long way. Drives Jones all the way back to his 19. It's a 54-yard punt, and there's another penalty in Alabama. Clipping, the Tide is pushed back to its own 8-yard line. So what does the Tide do? Pass. Here's Lewis looking for Jones. Long downfield, it's incomplete, and another penalty. Bama has an ineligible receiver. The Tide's back at its own 4. Here's Patrick trying to get some room, but he stopped at the 5, a gain of only 1. It's 2nd and 13. Here's Lewis running the option to his side, the toss to Fagan. Jeff races away for 14 yards out to the 19. First down, Bama. Now the final play of the first quarter, Lewis keeps it himself, gets a yard. And after 1, it's Alabama 7, Penn State nothing. One quick note about the first quarter. Alabama's first scoring drive went 67 yards officially. But if you include the penalties, the Tide actually had to go 85 yards to get that first touchdown. And there's a lot more to come in the second quarter, next on Bama's Greatest Game. Stars in big games, and that certainly was the case back in '81 when Alabama beat Penn State up there. Walter Lewis. John came off the bench, completed 2 out of 3 for 68 yards and a touchdown just in the first quarter.
But the great thing about Lewis that day, you could see that he was a different man. I mean, he was quick with his movements. He was positive. There was no delay. He ran the ball well. I remember circling out and cutting back in. He just looked like a different player, and I think that Coach Bryant's trying to get him to be reckless and be daring, and certainly work with Walter Lewis. And Walter had all kind of athletic ability, but he was a little hesitant sometime about gambling a little bit, but not this particular day. Certainly. He was a gambler up in Happy Valley.
He certainly was, and he's ready to lead Bama to more points as we go to the second quarter with the Tide leading 7-0. Opening the second quarter, 2nd and 9 at the 20. Here's the toss to Carter. He goes off the left side for 6 yards to the 25. So it's 3rd and 3 for Bama. Lewis bringing the option this way, keeps it himself, goes for 5 yards, a first down at the 30. Here's Lewis, back to pass, but he's going to be sacked. Kirk Bowman's there, dropping him for a 7-yard loss back to the 23. Ricky Moore takes it right up the middle. He fumbles the football. The Lions have it at the Bama 34. On first down, Joe Paterno calls for the reverse. Kenny Jackson sweeps right. Looks like he might pass. He keeps it himself at 13 yards to the Bama 21. This time it's the toss to Warner. He gets 8 more to the 13. Jim Bob Harris and Jackie Klein make the stop. 2nd and 2 for the Lions. Meade up the middle for 8 more. Robbie Jones stops him on the 5. It's 1st and goal for Penn State. Warner right up the middle this time, but he's going to be stopped at about the 4-yard line. It's 2nd and goal for Penn State. Warner again with a call, this time to the left, but Bama's there. Wooden Perrin tackle him for a 3-yard loss back to the 7. 3rd and goal from the 7. Blackledge drops back, looks for 6, but Russ Wood sacks him all the way back at the 18-yard line. So the Lions have to go for a field goal. Franco in for a 35-yarder. It's through the uprights, and with 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Alabama's lead's been trimmed by 3. It's 7-3 in favor of the Tide. Franco to kick off for Penn State. He booms it into the end zone. Tide's not going to return it. Bama will start at the 20. Lewis passing again on first down. Looking for Joey Jones. It's incomplete. Back to the wishbone. Moore on the handoff. He rambles 14 yards out to the 34. First down, Bama. Carter gets the toss this time. He battles for 3 out to the 37. And second down, Lewis, apparently the early snap. He picks up a couple to the 39. So it's 3rd and 5. Here's Moore trying to get the first down. He stopped at the 42. That's 2 yards shy of the needed yardage. So Simmons is in to punt again. This time he kicks a 47-yarder. Boz all the way back at his own 10. Fights back upfield for 9 to the 19. First down for Penn State. Blackledge gives it to Meade. Warren Lyles knocks the ball loose. Robbie Jones recovers for the Tide at the Penn State 19. Big break for Bama. Here's a little bit of a reverse. The toss. It's to Moore. He catches it on the bounce. He loses 3, though, back to the 22. Back to the regular option. This time, Gray coming this way. The toss to Caruth. Watch him tightrope down the sidelines. 13 yards and a first down at the Penn State 9. Fagan goes right up the middle for 2. Bama has it at the Lions 7. On second down, Caruth, the toss behind the blocks of Vickers, Kayavak, and Kraut goes to the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal, Caruth again. This time he goes into the end zone for Alabama's 2nd touchdown of the day. Paul Trott again kicks the extra point. Alabama's on top 14-3. We have 5:53 left in the first half. Sanders kicking off again for Alabama. Penn State's ball is deep. Decides to bring it out of the end zone. The hesitation cost him field position, though, because he can only get back to the 14. On first down, Warner, the toss. Tide defense gives him nowhere to run. He picks up just a yard. 2nd and 9. Lions are going to pass. Blackledge looking for his tight end McCloskey, but it's incomplete. So it's 3rd and 10. Blackledge again dropping back, looking for Jackson. This one is incomplete, right on the sidelines. It's 4th down again for the Nittany Lions. Giacomaro's had a fine day already. This time he gets away a 49-yarder. It's going to roll out of bounds at the Bama 36. 4:51 left in the half now. And here's Lewis dropping back to pass. He's looking deep for Jones. Joey has it at the Penn State 7-yard line. 57 yards on the play. 1st and goal for the Tide. What a combination, Lewis to Jones. Here's Moore hammering ahead for 3 to the 4-yard line. On 2nd down, the toss to Fagan going around left end. He gets a couple of blocks and he's into the end zone for a touchdown, but wait a minute. Alabama's called for holding. The ball moves back to the 13. Here's Carruth getting the pitch this time. He can only get 2 yards to the 11. Doesn't get much better either. A 5-yard procedure penalty moves it back to the 16, 3rd and goal. Here's Jones on the reverse. Headed to the far side with a blocker in front of him. But Penn State catches up with him. He gets 7 to the 9-yard line, and Bama has to try a field goal. Peter Kim's out with an injured leg, so the sophomore trot is in. He kicks a 27-yarder. It's good. And Alabama leads 17 to 3. We're down to 1:53 left in the first half. Sanders hits another good kickoff. This one all the way down to the 2-yard line. Baugh gathers it in for Penn State and returns it 18 yards out to the 20. Down by 14, Lions want to make something happen. Blackledge back to pass, throwing deep for Garrity. But look at this, Jeremiah Castile's there for the Tide. He picks it off at the 35 and brings it back to the 42. So it's 1st and 10 for Bama, and we still have 1:40 left in the first half. Here's that Lewis to Jones combination again. Walter to Joey. It's complete for 24 yards to the Penn State 34. On 1st down, the toss to Carruth. He comes this way, battles for 8 yards, down to the Penn State 26. 2nd and 2, Carruth again. This time only a yard. So it's 3rd and 1 for the Tide. Lewis keeps it himself, gets a couple of yards, and a 1st down at the 23. Here's Carruth with the option this way, but he stopped for a yard loss back at the 24. So Walters going to the air. He's looking to the end zone for Jesse Bendros. It's incomplete. The Tide faces 3rd and 11. Walter again looking to pass. Once more, trying to find Bendros. Gets away. Look at him get away from that defender. Fires it complete to Jesse. 15 yards. He gets to the Penn State 9-yard line. 1st and goal for Bama. Lewis looking for Bendros again. Langford breaks it up for the Lions. It's 2nd and goal for the Tide. Lewis back. Now he's running. He's down to the 3-yard line. So it's 3rd and goal for the Tide. Less than 20 seconds in the half. Walters dropping back. Looking into the end zone for Bendros. Jesse has it in the corner. The score. Touchdown, Bama. The drive has covered 58 yards in 10 plays. Todd kicks the extra point, and Alabama is now on top of Penn State, 24-3. This time Sanders squibs the kickoff to the Penn State 37. Scott Radisick recovers it there. Only 8 seconds left in the half. On 1st down, Bama in the prevent, so here's Meade hustling his way for 16 yards and a 1st down at the Bama 47. One last play. Blackledge drops back. Gonna toss the Hail Mary into the end zone. But here's Castile to make the play again. He intercepts in the end zone. That's the end of the first half. Alabama, a stunning 24-3 lead. The first half was all Alabama. The Tide rolling up 334 yards in total offense. The defense held Penn State to just 86 yards. We'll talk about that defense next on Bama's Greatest Games. Alabama-Penn State game. And, John, it seems like when Bama played Penn State in those days, goal line stands were big. Obviously, the one in '79 in the Sugar Bowl that sealed the national championship. But this game had, in my way of thinking, an even more impressive goal line stand.
Because they held them 7 downs inside the 4-yard line.
It was incredible.
Of course, Warren Lyles was one of the big ones there. Byron Bragg certainly was. Mike Pitts, I believe, was one of the big defenders then. But they had a Jeremiah Castile. Let's not fail to mention him, because Jeremiah, I'm sure on the goal line, was up there doing his share of the hitting.
Well, in fact, everybody doing their share. Let's see the defense in action as we go to the third quarter. Bama's leading Penn State 24-3. Bama's kicking off to start the third quarter. Sanders booms it deep to Baugh at the goal line. He's bringing it back for the Lions. Brings it all the way back to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for Penn State. Here's Meade right up the middle for a couple. Thomas Boyd stops him. It's 2nd and 8 for Penn State. Blackledge dropping back. He's setting up the screen, gets it away to Warner, but he can only get 3 because Mike Pitts is there to knock him out of bounds for the tie. 3rd and 5. Blackledge looking for Warner again. This time he has the football, finds some daylight. He's off and running for 18 yards. A first down at the Bama 49. Wilcox finally brings him down. Blackledge to throw for the 3rd straight time. Pass intended for Jackson, broken up by Castile. It's now 2nd and 10. This time the call goes to Warner. He blasts up the middle, cuts left. A nice 8-yard gain on the play. Boyd stops him for Bama. 3rd down, possession play. It's Warner again. He gets 5 yards to the Bama 36. Pitts and Boyd on the tackle. First down, Penn State. Here's Meade, off left tackle. He's picking up 11 more, another first down. Jim Bob Harris stops him at the 25. Blackledge drops back to pass. Great protection. Plenty of time on it. Looking for Garrity. Fires it to him, but there's a lot of Bama defenders there. Wilcox gets the credit for breaking it up. 2nd down, a 5-yard motion penalty moves it back to the 30. Blackledge wants it all from there, trying to find Jackson at the Bama 4. He's got it. 1st and goal, Penn State. Get set for greatness. Here's Warner trying the right side. Pitts there to slam him down. It's 2nd and goal at the 3. Blackledge again to Warner. Jackie Klein greets him at the 2-yard line. So it's 3rd down. Blackledge going to throw. He's into the end zone, incomplete, but Bama's guilty of interference. Ball is inched ahead to the 1. 1st and goal, Penn State. This time it's Meade on the handoff. Wilcox and Robbie Jones knock him down at the 1. 2nd and goal. Warner gets the call this time. Wilcox again, joined by Pitts. No gain on the play. So it's 3rd and goal for Penn State. Meade tries to go over the top. A host of Bama defenders say, no way. So it's 4th down. Shades of the Sugar Bowl in '79. It's Warner again trying to come this way. Pitts, Wilcox, a host of Bama players are there. He's slammed down on the 2. 7 times Bama's kept the Nittany Lions from scoring. Offense on the field. Caruth takes the handoff, gets only a yard up to the 3. On 2nd down, here's Moore hammering his way out to the 6. It's 3rd and 6. Coach Bryant says, let's get it out of here. Here's Simmons in to punt it away. He gets off a 44-yarder. No return, but the Lions will operate from midfield. Here's backup tailback John Williams on 1st down. Fights for 3 to the Tide 47. Robbie Jones on the tackle. 2nd and 7. Blackledge back to pass. Firing for Garrity. Tommy Wilcox intercepts it for the Tide. Bama has the football at its own 38. On 1st down, here's Ricky Moore right up the middle. No gain on the play. 5-yard penalty back to the 33. A draw play. Lenny Patrick takes it. Goes up 7 yards to the 40. It's 3rd and 8 for the Tide. Alan Gray's at quarterback. Drops back for Bama's first pass this half. He finds Joey Jones open. 23 yards on the play to the Penn State 37. It's first down, Bama. Patrick up the middle for 4 to the 33. Now it's Jeff Fagan getting the call for the Tide. He gets 2 yards to the 31. So it's 3rd and 5 for Bama. Gray with a pitch out to Fagan. It's low. He can't pick it up. Hamilton recovers for Penn State at the 36. Nittany Lions have stopped the Bama scoring drive. Blackledge wants to take advantage of the break. Looking to throw downfield, but Jimmy Watts beats the block, sacks Blackledge, a 9-yard loss. 2nd and 19, back at the 27. Here's the reverse. Jackson breaks into the open. He has 19 yards and a first down at the Penn State 49. Robbie Jones finally brings him down for Bama. Here's Warner breaking off the left side. He picks up 9 more for the Lions. They're at the Penn State 42. Wilcox on the tackle. 2nd and 1. Blackledge on the flea flicker. Here comes the Bama defense. He has to scramble, finally slips down. Mike Pitts finishes him off, a 10-yard loss back to the Penn State 48. So it's 3rd and 11. Again, great pressure from the Bama front. Blackledge finally throws his pass, but it's incomplete, and the Lions have to kick it away. Giacomora's in to kick it. He booms it deep to the 3-yard line. That's where the Lions will down it. We have 50 seconds left in a scoreless 3rd quarter. Walter Lewis is back in at quarterback. His fake to Patrick fools everybody, but his pass downfield to Jones goes incomplete. 2nd and 10, Lenny Patrick picks up 3 out to the 6, and the Tide's punting on 3rd down, and it's Lewis who's kicking it. Penn State has nobody back. Walter's punt rolls all the way to the Lions 45. It's a 49-yard kick for Bama's quarterback. Going to the 4th, Bama's ahead 24-3. In that 3rd quarter, Penn State had the ball for 24 plays, 7 of them, of course, inside the 4-yard line. Bama only had 11 plays. But the defense was so good, the Nittany Lions managed only 85 yards the entire quarter. And we'll check out the 4th quarter next on Bama's Greatest Games. Impressive Alabama win over Penn State back in 1981. But, John, the historical importance of this game, it was the 314th victory for Coach Bryant. And as you said earlier, he tried to downplay that in the locker room before the game, but you know it had to be important to him.
Well, I know it did. Coach Stagg, he was going to tie him this particular afternoon. Of course, shortly thereafter, go win 3-15 over Auburn. But I think Coach Bryant was genuinely concerned about putting too much pressure on those boys, and he was doing everything he could to try to lessen that thing. But as far as it being important to him, Lord knows, the age he was reaching, it was a vital thing to him. But he still was thinking of the boys and not putting a total pressure on them for that.
Well, and his players are going to be thinking a lot of him as we go to the final 15 minutes away from win number 314 for Coach Bryant. Bama's ahead 24-10 as we go to the 4th quarter. As we start the 4th quarter, Penn State has the football at its own 45, trailing 24-3. It's 1st and 10. Here's the delay to Warner. He gets a couple of yards, making it 2nd and 8 for the Lions. Blackledge drops back to pass. He's looking for John Williams. Finds him open, a 12-yard gain. First down at the Bama 41. Blackledge passing again. Looking for Williams, but Steve Booker's pressuring him. It's incomplete. 2nd down. Here's the draw to Williams. He breaks into the open, powers through the Bama defense. He's gone. 41 yards for Penn State's first touchdown of the afternoon. Nice cut there at about the 10. He's into the end zone. Franco's called on to kick the extra point. He converts it. It's still, though, 24-10 Alabama with 13:49 left in the game. Franco kicks off all the way to the goal line. Lenny Patrick takes it there and makes a great run back. Look at Lenny fly. He's out to the 26-yard line. Here's the toss to Patrick coming this way. He gets 4. Second down and 6. Ricky Moore gets the handoff. He plows to the 32, a 2-yard gain. Bama's facing 3rd and 4. Lewis tosses it to Caruth, but he can only get a yard out to the 33, and Bama has to kick it away. Tide sends in Malcolm Simmons. He gets off one of his best punts of the day, a 49-yarder that sends Baugh all the way back to his 25. He takes it there, brings it back 8 yards to the 33. 11:57 to go in the game. Here's Meade up the middle, gets 3 yards out to the 29. Mike Rodriguez on the tackle. On second down, Blackledge back to pass. He's looking for Garrity under pressure. He completes it. It's good for a 19-yard gain to the 48. Jim Bob Harris on the tackle. 1st and 10. Blackledge wants to go downfield again. Looking for his receiver along the sidelines. It's incomplete. Back to the ground on second down. Williams breaks free into the Tide secondary. He has 17 more yards and another first down. Penn State has it at the Bama 35. Lions go back to fullback Meade. He rams ahead for 2 off the right side. Pitts and Jones stop him for the Tide. It's 2nd and 8 from the 33. Blackledge back to pass, looking for his tight end McCloskey. It's complete. A 5-yard gain to the 28. Jimmy Watts makes the tackle. 3rd and 3. Williams, the handoff. Bounces off the right side for 4 more to the 24. And a first down for Penn State. The Lions are going with that reverse again. They fooled the Tide earlier. Not this time. They're not going to get anything. Heron finally stops him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. On second down, here's fullback Meade bruising his way ahead for 5 yards to the 19. Pitts on the tackle. 3rd down. Blackledge just misses Baugh, so the Lions face 4th and 5. Paterno wants Blackledge to throw again. He's looking for Jackson, but for the second time on this set of downs, Perrin makes the big play. He breaks up the pass, Bama's held, and takes over with 8:52 to go. Joe Carter takes the pitch on first down. He sweeps to the right side for 6 yards out to the 25. Fagan doesn't get much running room in a couple of plays, so Simmons is called on to punt it away for the Tide. Malcolm gets off another long one, a 50-yarder to the 22-yard line. Jackson takes it there and finds some running room. Look at him bring it all the way back out to the Penn State 43-yard line. Just over 6 minutes left to go in the football game. Blackledge goes airborne again. He's looking for Williams. His pass is no good. Eddie Lowe on the coverage for the Crimson Tide. Tom Bard takes the handoff on second down. He gets 4, but the Tide rolls him down at the 47. That brings up 3rd and 6 for the Nittany Lions. Blackledge is looking for Jackson on the conversion pass, but it's too high, and Penn State faces 4th and 6. Lions going for it. Blackledge back to throw for Garrity. But Jeremiah Castile breaks it up for Bama. Tide takes over at the Penn State 48. Here's Lewis with the pitch to Carter. He's all the way to the Penn State 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tide. Patrick goes up the middle for 2 more down to the 17. It's 2nd and 8. Walter Lewis bringing it this way on the option. Gets a great block and goes all the way to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for the Tide. Joe Carter dives over the top. Touchdown, Alabama. Paul Trott kicks his 4th extra point of the day, and Alabama has clinched a victory in Happy Valley. The Tide leads 31-10 with 3:52 to play. Sanders kicks off. This one bounds down to the 26. The Lions recover it there. It's 1st and 10. Junior quarterback Frank Rocco gets it to Williams. He goes off the left side. No running room. No gain on the play. Rocco drops back on second down. Finds nobody open, so he has to take off up the middle. And makes a nice run out of it. 16 yards to the 42 before the Tide can stop him. Rocco back to pass again. This time he flips it out to his fullback Bart. He picks up 9 yards to the Bama 49. It's 2nd and 1 for Penn State. Tony Mumford takes the handoff and finds a gap, picks up 9 more to the Bama 40. Rocco back to pass again, looking for his tight end Heller. He has it, another 9-yard gain, this one to the Bama 31. 2nd and 1. Rocco's back to pass one more time. Looking for Mumford. This time he can't handle it. So the Lions still need a yard for a first down. Rocco to throw. Looking to Tim Robinson. He has it. It's complete. 12 yards and a first down for the Lions. Rocco's throwing again for Robinson. This time, though, Stan Gay breaks it up in the end zone. 2nd and 10 from the 19. A minute and a half left in the game. Rocco looking. Lots of pressure. Fires it. Robinson has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State. After a penalty back to the 8, Penn State's going for 2. Rocco back to pass. Looking for Garrity, but Al Blue's there to knock it away for the Tide. Bama's on top 31-16 with a minute 26 left to play. Here's the onside kick. Joe Carter covers it up for the Tide at the Bama 48. Mickey Ginyard goes off the right side. He finds an opening. Big Mickey rumbles through, goes all the way to the Penn State 21-yard line. Ginyard off the right side again, but that's only a yard. It's 2nd and 9 for the 20. Alan Gray goes down for a 3-yard loss on 2nd down, and we're coming up to the final play of the game. Gray goes down at the Penn State 23. Alabama's won it 31-16. Now that it's over, the Tide players give their legendary coach a victory ride, probably one of his sweetest ever. The 314th time that Bryant has coached his teams to victory. That puts him ahead of Pop Warner and ties him with Amos Alonzo Stagg for #1 on the all-time victory list. Bryant, his 314th coaching victory. Big one over Penn State. Let's take a look at the highlights, John Forney. And it started in a hurry. Lewis to Jesse Bendrose.
Great protection.
36-yard touchdown pass to put Bama on top 7-0. That in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, Bama just kept right on pouring them on. Paulott Caruth, 2 yards for the TD. And as John and I talked about earlier, Walter Lewis, an incredible day. Here's a 57-yard pass to Joey Jones that set up a 27-yard field goal by Paul Trott.
Look at that tight spiral. Boy.
A great throw. Then Lewis comes back one more time for a touchdown pass, a 3-yarder to Bendrose that put Alabama on top 24-3. Now that was the first half. Offensive fireworks.
First half only. Wow.
That's right. Second half, here's the goal line stand. I put all 7 of those plays very, very quickly here as Alabama managed to hold Penn State 7 times inside the 4-yard line. Of course, this is the play where pass interference was called, and it gave Penn State 4 more opportunities from the 1, basically. They had a pretty good running back named Warner, I think.
And that's should have did. Had some great players, too.
Yes. And here comes the last play. Nothing there. And I believe there's a cartwheel about to be turned and a tip of the hat.
That's right. Byron Braggs, all 285 pounds of him, did the cartwheel. That was the last Alabama score, I guess, Tom.
Yeah, and Coach Bryant paid the ultimate tribute that afternoon to his defensive players, did he not?
He tipped his hat and took the hat off and shook hands with the 11 guys that came off that field.
It was amazing. One of the guys I wanted to mention, I said his name a moment or so ago, Joey Jones, little guy. Oh, but did he have some speed?
That we had talked about Major and some of them not having the speed. In Alabama, it rarely has had super speed, but Joey was one of those who was. And he was a guy small in stature, but big heart. He was a typical Alabama wideout.
And had great hands. My favorite picture of Joey Jones was when he literally was parallel to the ground catching the football.
Well, that was at SMU, one of the, I think, a Sun Bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was absolutely, like you said, parallel and grabbed the football for a TD.
And I believe you said you talked to him and he said the players on this particular day in 1981 were determined.
He just said that we were not going to let anything happen. And the way he said it, he meant they weren't going to let anything happen. And it was a great victory. Highlights that we just showed will be in the hearts of Alabama fans from now on, really, Tom.
That's for darn sure. John, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We thank you for joining us also. Hope you'll be with us next time for another of Bama's greatest games.